Okay, now that we finished showing how to sum any set of intervals, in the 3 video series that I just, we finished showing how to sum any set of intervals. Here's a fun fact. Do you see those intervals? We have a minor second, a third, and a fourth. Okay, any interval from a minor second to an octave can be written as a sum of all these intervals without repeating any. Now what I mean by that is that you can write any interval from the minor second to the octave. You could write any interval by adding some of these intervals. Again, you can if you add all of them together, you get an octave. If you add, well, we'll see that. It's just that you won't repeat any of these intervals. Like if you say a minor second plus a minor second to get a second, then you're cheating. You have to not repeat anything. You'd have to just write the second. In order to get the second, you'd have to just write the second, Okay, and, here are a couple examples. The encircle intervals sum to the interval to the left. Know that you might be able to find many sums for the same interval, but you can always find at least one. The number of intervals you need to sum can also be different to get the same interval. Here we list 2 possibilities for an augmented fourth and 2 for the fifth. There's only one way to obtain a minor second or a second or even a third. There's only one way to do that, But there's several ways, as for the fourth. For instance, you can write the minor second plus the third, or you could write the fourth. I didn't write that as an example, but that's an example where there's several for the fourth, but you only have one way of writing this minor second, which is just itself, the second, which is just itself, and the third, which is just itself. You can't write it any other way. Remember, we're talking about sums. We're not subtracting anything. You see, so the minor second is a minor second. The fifth, you could write it as a second plus a fourth, or you could write it as a minor second. As a minor second plus a second plus a third. Remember, the minor second plus a third is a fourth, plus the second is a fifth. The minor seventh can be written as a minor second plus a third plus a fourth. The third plus a fourth is a sixth. And when you add a minor second to that, you get a minor seventh. And an augmented fourth is a minor second plus a fourth. That's the definition of the augmented, minor second plus a fourth. And you could also write it as a second plus a third plus a fourth. A second plus a third. There's no fourth. A second plus a third, because a minor second plus a third is a fourth, and you add a minor second to that, you get an augmented fourth. And the octave, you add everything. You could see that by first adding the third plus the fourth, you get a sixth. Then you add a second, you get you start from the right, you work your way to the left. You start with the fourth plus a third, you get a sixth, and then you add a second to that, you get a seventh, and that you just need a semitone to get to the octave. So it works in all of the cases, and so that was it, and thanks for watching. Next time we'll probably start a series of 3 videos about how to multiply any set of intervals when we care about chromaticism. Afterward, we will see how we can determine if a chord can be played on the violin, the guitar, and other instruments. Please like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time.